This is SAP Concur home page. Here we have 3 option: request, expense and approvals. We raise request when we need prior approvals from the manager's taxi required in local travel or need an advance, also for month-end provisioning. For raising a request, click on Request. Click on New Request. This is request page. You have multiple tabs here: request header, segments, expenses, approval flow and audit trail. We will start first the request header. The mandatory fields are highlighted with red color. Until and unless you fill these fields, you will not be able to submit your request. The first step is to see the request type. Select the request type from drop-down list of request header. Travel can be local, domestic or international. Non-travel can be late night sitting or holiday working or relocations expenses. And impressed can be branch expenses or any other expense incurred by the employee which is claimed on red voucher earlier. So let's start with travel first. The request name should be relevant with travel. So for example, if you are traveling to Chandigarh, mention travel to Chandigarh. The next option is travel type: domestic, international, local or up-country. Here we will select the third option. In booking source you can enter self or travel desk. If you have made the booking by self, else select travel desk. Then select the start date. Click on the calendar icon and select the start date. Select the end date. Click on the calendar icon and enter your end date. All the requests are future requests. Now enter your main destination city. Destination country will captured automatically according to destination city. For the next option, by default it will be no. In case you are traveling internationally and required multiple currency, you will need to select yes. The next option is purpose. You need to enter your reason for travel. You can add a temporary phone number in this field. In case of any special remark for this, you can add it in the comments field. For example, we are adding for meeting. Click on Save. As soon as you click on the Save button, a request ID is generated. You are now on the segment section. Here you can choose the mode of travel. Either it could be booked by the company or by self. We have option air tickets or train tickets, car rental, hotels, buses, insurance or visa. In case of taxi, select taxi, enter your pickup and drop-off details. Enter your date and time. Also enter your details in the details section. Then enter your drop-off details with date and time. In the comment section add the details. Now, click on Save. The next tab is Expenses. Click on it. Now mention tentative amount of all the expenses related your travel. Click on Local Conveyance for public transport. Enter the transaction date and amount. Add the comments. But before clicking Save, just see what amount you're entering. And then click on Save. One by one you can enter all your local expenses by choosing the relevant expense type and save. Then click on the approval flow. This will show you the approval authorities, to whom your claim go. Check all the tab one by one. Now click on Submit Request. The request has been successfully submitted. After approving the request or directly create an expense, click on Expense. Click on Create New Claim. A new window opens. All the fields marked with a red are mandatory fields. On the Policy drop-down, you have Luminous Travel Policy, Impressed Policy and Non-Travel Policy. For local travel in this example we will click on the Travel Policy. Enter the report name, it should be relevant to travel. Local travel is for your base location. Now, click on Travel and Date. Travel and date is the end date of your travel. The expense claim is always on the past date, so please make note of that. You can add your telephone number in the temporary phone number field. In the travel type, select local or domestic. The other fields are captured by default. You will need to check your cost center and internal order. The internal order is basically the last 6 digits of your employee ID. You will need to reach out to your HR department for any correction, if needed. Post that. If there is already raised request, it will show in the request section. For one expense, you can have a single or multiple request. Click on Add, select the request, click on Add and then click Next. It will show you a pop-up regarding travel allowance itinerary which will ask you for hotels, meals owned stay for domestic, international travel. Since this case is for local travel, you will need to select No. A new window will show you all the different kinds of travel expenses, for local and up-country and other expense type categories. For local travel you can claim for local conveyance, public transport, taxi, parking. In some cases, it could be your own vehicle as well. First, we will show you local up-country travel in terms of a public transport, so select local conveyance, public transport. Or you can just click on the search button and type, and it will show you all the relevant options. Post this, it will show you a window with the different fields. All the fields marked with it red are mandatory. You can select transaction date. Enter your business purpose. You can enter official here. The base location will be pre-filled and it will show your base location. It will also show a field of number of kilometers traveled. You can then enter the start date and time of travel and the end date and time of travel. And then enter the transport type. It could be auto, bus, ferry, local metro, or a shared taxi. In case it's not mentioned, select others. In this case, we select shared taxi. In case you have paid by yourself, then you select cash, or else select paid by company. Here, you can select cash. Now in the amount field, for the sales service team there is a daily and a monthly limit. Then click on the receipt status. If the service provider is providing you receipt, then select receipt. A lot of times public transporters does not provide receipt, so select no receipt. In the comments section, add your remarks. For example, here we are adding for local travel. In the description field, we can add more details. Click on Save. In case of other expense like local, up-country parking or toll charges, you can add those expenses accordingly and submit for claim. For the next one, we'll show you how to claim for your own vehicle. Click on Own Vehicle. In case of own vehicle, the mileage calculator is mandatory. The mileage calculator automatically calculates the kilometers. For mileage calculator, you can use Concur mobile app, which you can install on your phone. Just start mileage calculator whenever you are traveling so that you can automatically track your travel kilometers. In case capturing your mileage on the system, click on the mileage calculator. It opens a new window and it will show you different waypoints. So for example, we enter Patna railway station to Belly Road and click on Calculate Route. So enter the different locations which you will be traveling across the city. As mentioned earlier, add all your waypoints. It will keep suggesting different places. In case you are out on some personal work, it will log your personal kilometers and your work or business miles will be clocked in differently. The business kilometers are added here. Now enter the transaction date, enter the purpose of the trip. Enter your local travel type. Enter the start date and time of travel and the end date and time of travel. If you select the two-wheeler, it will show you the base price accordingly. You can choose your vehicle ID. For a four-wheeler it will be 9 rupees per kilometer. For a two-wheeler it is 5 rupees per kilometer. You can then select the receipt status. If you have receipts, you can attach them. If you have no receipts, then you can select no receipts. Click on Browse. Select the receipts. Click on Open, then click Attach button. Now your receipts are attached. You can mention the details in the comment section. Then click on Save. This way you can add expense for your own vehicle. In case you want to capture monthly expenses, so you can click on Quick Expenses as well. It will show you a window of Quick Expenses. In case you are using a taxi or public transport, then you can use Quick Expenses. If own vehicle, then you can use mileage expenses. In case you have used your own vehicle, click on Mileage Details and then add your waypoints. After adding waypoints, click on Calculate Route. Then you can add mileage to expense. By clicking on Transaction Date and select the date, select the purpose of the trip. We choose Market Visit for now. Click on Travel Type, Local. As we selected the business distance as 8 km, then click on Save. Now your expenses have been saved. In the same manner, you can add more quick expenses and capture details. In case there are any changes to the amount, then make the relevant changes. Add business purpose here. Add amount and duplicate it to fill further. And click on Save. In case of any exceptions, then click on the given exception and enter the required details. Then click Save. Just like that, you can click on each exception and enter the required details and address each exception which you face. Now we have captured all the expenses. Click on Submit Claim. You will be given a pop-up of final review. Then you can click on accept and submit. Now you will see all details of the claim which you have successfully submitted. In this case the amount claimed is 780. Check all the details. Click on Close. In the dashboard it will show you all the pending claims. Once the claim approved and show you in accounting review status, click on the claim. Click on print or email, click on expense detail report. Take a printout and submit it to your BCO.